Hi, book nerds. This is Colleen Houck coming at you from my office at home in my room where I write all my tiger books. So, book nerds fans, I have been asked to talk to you today about characters. And I'm going to actually show you a few of my characters from my series. I love Barbie dolls, and so I collect them especially when they match my characters. So the first one I'm going to show you is, well, let me start with my heroine, Kelsey. So Kelsey is an American girl. She's a teenager. This is my Kelsey doll. And I'll tell you a little bit about her. I think if you want to be a writer, you think about your characters a lot, and they kind of get into your head, and they become very real to you. So Kelsey likes to wear comfortable clothes. She often wears jeans, and in this case, she wears pink boots, which is not usual for her, but that's what this doll came with. You'll notice she has like white tiger stripe lapel, which is, shows her important ties to my tigers, which are part of my book. She also has her backpack and sleeping bag on her back, which she needs because she's out camping with the tigers quite frequently. And she has her hair in a braid with little ribbons. And my heroine Kelsey wears hair ribbons in her hair to remember her mother, who passed away and used to tie hair ribbons in her hair. So that is my character, Kelsey. That is my main character. She is in all my tiger books except for the new novella, Tiger's Promise. Okay. Next character I wanted to show you is Ren. And so this is my old school version of Ren. So this is what Ren would look like in my novella Tiger's Promise. Ren likes the color blue. That's one of his favorite things, blue. He has blue eyes, although this doll does not have blue eyes, but Ren has blue eyes. And he's got his fancy India clothes right on. And Ren also masquerades as a white tiger. This is his other half. So in Tiger's Curse series, it's kind of like a werewolf story a little bit, except for instead of wolves, we have tigers. So Ren was cursed by an evil magician who happened to be the man who was going to be his father-in-law, and he ended up becoming a white tiger. So in most of my series, Ren is stuck in tiger form, and then he can only become a man for a certain limited time a day until this curse is broken. So my characters are moving through the story trying to break this curse. That's Ren. Okay, next up is another thing about Ren is he loves chocolate peanut butter cookies, and peanut butter is like his favorite treat he's discovered since he has been able to be a part of the modern world. Peanut butter. Okay, Keyshawn is next. Okay, and this is Keyshawn. He favors gold and black. This is not a black outfit, but he usually likes to wear black and gold. He has golden eyes. Keyshawn's favorite thing about the modern world is root beer floats. He likes root beer and ice cream. And this is his other persona. He's a black tiger. And he's the younger of the two Rajaram brothers. So Keyshawn has a lot of problems. Him and his brother do, because they both fell in love with this beautiful Indian girl 300 years ago who ended up being betrothed to Ren, not Keyshawn, but Keyshawn fell in love with her and kind of stole her away from his big brother Ren, and then chaos ensued. So without further ado, I'm going to have you meet the girl they both were in love with, or loved, and her name is Yesoohbye, and this is Yesoohbye, and she's a very beautiful doll. I love this doll. She's got such pretty clothes. Yesoohbye wears veils, as you can see by this long and gorgeous veil. She wears veils all the time. She has a very beautiful eye color. Her eyes are actually kind of a violet color, which is very rare, and her father, and I don't have a full-size Barbie guy, and this is like a super wrestler guy, and I don't know who he is because I don't follow wrestling, but he looks like the evil Lokesh to me. So this is my bad guy, Lokesh, who would be her father, who is the guy that is my bad guy in my series, and he causes all kinds of problems. Anyway, this is his beautiful daughter, Yesoohbye. So my novella is based upon her and her relationship with the Rajaram family, as well as her father. So Yesoohbye loves flowers and gardening, and that's pretty much the only good thing she has in her life is flowers, and that's one of the only things she can experience in the world. Her father keeps her pretty much locked away, so she's got a kind of a sad life. But she finds a friend in Ren and Keyshawn's mother, whose name is Shen. And Shen is actually from Tibet. She married an Indian man who became an emperor, and that's Emperor Rajaram. And so she's actually Asian, she's Chinese. And Shen is very well versed in martial arts. She's a very good sword fighter. And in my novella Tiger's Promise, we actually get to see her practicing with Mr. Kadam, who is this guy. Actually, this is not what he looked like back then, and this is actually a soldier guy, but he looked the closest to Kadam I could find. I would like to get him some other kind of cool clothes, but I do like the khaki. He does wear a lot of khaki. So Mr. Kadam is the man-at-arms for the Rajaram family, a soldier. And so in Tiger's Promise, my new novella, there's a cool fight. These two are practicing, and you get to see her in action doing some cool martial arts stuff with swords. So that's her. That's Shen. Shen is a very kind woman. As the queen, she takes in widows, and she takes care of the poor, and she taught her boys how to give good massages as well as how to be good men. And so she was she's a very interesting woman who I really enjoy quite a bit. That's Shen. Okay, so Mr. Kadam, he is in all my Tigers books, and he is a man-at-arms who has lived a long time, and he has dedicated his life to the Rajaram family, and he wants to help them, help these tigers break their curse. So he's pretty much the mentor of the story, and he likes herbal tea, and spices are his thing. He has he was involved in the spice trade when it started up, and so he knows all the spices. He grinds his own spices, so he's a spice man. So that's kind of Mr. Kadam. Okay, then I have Lima and Anamika. So Lima is kind of a sister. Lima is a descendant of Mr. Kadam. He was married and had kids and grandkids and great-grandkids, and he's still alive and still a young fellow. So every couple, dozens of years or so, he goes and he finds one of his grandchildren, offspring, to work for him. And so the current one is named Lima, and he recruited her out of her business, and she is now the president of Rajaram Industries, the company. And so Nalima's kind of functions like a sister to Ren and Keyshawn, and she ends up with Sunil, who is the brother of Anamika, and this is Anamika. Anamika, let me put Lima away. Anamika doesn't come into play in the Tiger series until book 4, Tiger's Destiny. And Anamika is kind of like a Xena warrior princess kind of person. She's very loyal, very dedicated. You don't really get to know too much about her because she just comes in right at the end of that story. So you don't get to know a lot about her right away. But Anamika ends up becoming the goddess Durga, and she rides a tiger into battle, and she's the one who ends up destroying our villain. We have our villain here, Anamika, the goddess Durga, and Kelsey, both these two girls. So they end up destroying the bad guy, the villain of this story. And you'll get to see a lot more of Anamika in the future as well. So we'll have more stuff with her. So to me, characters are very, very important piece of your book. If you don't have believable and strong characters, I think you have a hard time. Even if you have a fantastic book idea, you have to really care about the character. You have to care about why you know, these things are happening. Otherwise, the reader doesn't have an emotional connection. So as an author, I think it's very important that I first have an emotional connection to my characters. And I do. I feel very strongly about my characters, and I have a great love for them. And it's, you know, even your villain, even your bad guy, you kind of have to know why he's that way, and you kind of have to, as the author, you have to kind of understand what made him be that way. And I think that's a very important piece of being an author, is to understand your characters and relate to them and to make them relatable to people who pick up your books to read them. So that's kind of my character overview. I could probably talk about my characters for hours, but I don't want to bore you, so I will probably stop there. So thank you again, book nerds, and have a great day. Take care, and bye-bye.